this is Ebonygeek. You're always welcome to join me in expanding your knowledge base. Comments are always welcome, and please subscribe. I want to explain some things because I lost some footage, and it was right as I was finishing up adding the motor cords here. Of course, this is A and B, or this one and this one is A and B. That's for one particular motor, and then this one is C and D, and it's for the other motor. The motor is the servos under here, the yellow ones, okay? So I had just hooked those up, okay? The next thing that I had hooked up, following the same example as how we did this one. Remember, we actually unscrewed it, put the cord in, or the wire, and then we screwed it back on the lead so that it'll make a good contact. Now the next thing that we did was for the actual battery packs. Now these were done in series, so one positive, the negative from this battery pack is added to the positive of this battery pack. And then the wing nut was twisted on, you know, clockwise, okay? Then I was left with the positive from this one and the negative from that one, because remember, we used the positive and the negative to connect them. So now this is like one big battery, okay? So we added the negative. The negative is this terminal here. We unscrewed it, then we added the negative terminal, and then this one we unscrewed that and we added the positive terminal, and that's our battery power. The next thing I did was I hooked up the wire for these particular sensors. I believe that I actually explained that in a video, so I'm not going to go over that again, but I do apologize because I was trying to make it a step-by-step type thing, but it's pretty simple, and so it's just adding the wires to these terminals, and then I explain how this is, and I could probably quickly explain it. This one here is 1. So how did I come up with that? Just to make sure, because I don't want to say the wrong thing, because I had kind of got mixed up myself. If you have yours facing this way, this particular one on the inside is 1, and then that particular one on the outside is 3, okay? Then this one is 2, and this one is 4, okay? I did show what the booklet is showing, and I hope that you can see that. It's showing it right here. That's the picture for it. And then here's another illustration. Yeah, it can get kind of confusing. It sure can. What I would say is just go by what you're seeing if you're a visual learner. 2, let's see, yeah. 2, 1, 4, 3. Okay. Now, I put them in one by one. So, and then when I put it in, I fed it through the bottom to make it easy and brought it in through the top. Now, once you actually do it, your 1 is going to go on the first set of 2 sets of pins right here. And don't get it confused with this. It's right here. So, the first set of pins is 1, the second set of pins is 2, the third set of pins is 3, and the next set of pins is 4. Okay? So I did explain that, and I guess I'll put that on there again because it is a little bit confusing. Right now it's done. So I believe that the videos caught it up from that point on. So I just wanted to go ahead and go over the part that was missed, which was at the point where I believe I was finishing up connecting the motors, but then you didn't get to see this connected, and that connected. So that's what I'm explaining now, and of course, like I said, the other video will explain this part a little bit more. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for seeing these videos. And I'm back, Ebonygeek45. What I'm doing right now is I'm showing you the code for the bot. I've not coded the bot in a long time, so I don't know how I actually had it set up. I think I will run through the code again, but I did put it in and it did work. You want to bring up your Arduino IDE, whichever version you have. Of course, you're going to come up with this. It's not going to actually be this name, but that's what you're going to come up with. You want to do new, or you could go to File, Examples, Basics, and Bare Minimum. You'll come up with that, which is the same thing. Once you get your file up, you want to immediately name it. You're going to name it this, linefollow.ino, just to keep it simple. That's what they named it. And you're going to go ahead and go Save As. And it's going to save it to whether you have your library saved. It's not going to be the same for everybody. You want to paste it there, linefollow.ino, and save it. As you can see, it's coming up like that. These are comment lines for one line. So it's perfectly fine to leave them there. What you can do, and I'm going to go slowly because more than likely you're typing it in. But when you type it in, be careful to get in all the code. The comment lines you do not have to put in, but like I said, be careful to get all of the code. I'm going slowly so that if you need to put the video on pause to copy some of this down, you will be able to see it without many problems. I had a very hard time finding this code, and so I'm sharing it. I don't mean no copyright infringements. I'm just trying to give out the code for people who bought the kit, went to the site, found out that it's no longer there, and they want to get their robot running because they don't know how to actually do this. Or even if you do know how to do it, but you want to get up their code so that you can see what they're doing first, because it's their bot. Now that's the code for your linefollow.ino. Now there's a second bot that can be made that I'm more than likely not going to be making. But just in case you did get that bot and you want to actually have the code for it, because I'm guessing there's no code for that either, just go through the steps I went through to name the linefollow.ino. Only name it, where are we? Walk.ino. If you want to keep the walk at the top, just make sure to add these comments to it, those comment lines to it. And here is the code for the walk. Like I said, no copyright infringements intended. Just trying to get the code to the people who saw that it was no longer on the site. This is not my code. This was provided by Radio Shack and MakeIt. And of course, like I said, if you need to pause the video in order to get some of this down, go right ahead. I know can't nobody type that fast. And I know you hear running water in the background. That's just my aquaponics setup in my aquarium. I believe that this code may be a little bit longer than the first code. I believe that may be the last of it. I hope having this code helped you. Like I said, I had a little bit of a pause trying to find it. So now that I found it, like I said, it's on GitHub. I found it. It's the Radio Shack MakeIt robotic code.txt. I did explain some of the setup that was in the README file. I hope that it does help, and no copyright infringements intended, just trying to get it to the people who's trying to actually code it and can't find the code. Okay, so with that, I would say that this project is completed. Have a great rest of your day. If anybody has modified the bot to do anything else, like be faster or whatever, please let me know. Include the code, and I will go ahead and get it out to the people who need to or would like to have it. Have a great rest of your day. Today is a great day to learn something. Bye-bye. Well, for a first run, for probably my first line following robot, that's pretty doggone good. Now, if you should wind up and you got one of these kits and the bot is just going in a straight line and won't follow the lines at all, make sure that your lines are set up right to the sensor, that they're in the right plugs. Also, if you find that your bot is going reverse instead of forward, reverse the order that you have your wires in. As you can see, this is now doing fine, and there was two problems that I had, which I really wasn't paying attention to the directions good enough to see that I had those. So when you run into a problem, like I said, if it's going in reverse, change the directions of your wires for your motors. And in my case, I had to put the positive leads where the negative leads were, and then it went forward. And like I said, in the case where it's just going, it won't follow the line, make sure that your wiring is correct on it. If anybody have any problems with it, go ahead and send me a message, and I'll go ahead and go back over the wiring issue that I had, and maybe that'll help you. Okay, bye-bye. I'm Ebonygeek, and I hope that the information provided has been helpful to you. Please remember to subscribe. Happy building and happy coding.